What's up, everyone? You're very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Usual stuff applies. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please drop a like on the video and, of course, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Let's start off with a midfielder that's on his way to Wolves. Why are we bringing this up, you ask? Probably because it's been put out in articles today that Liverpool cooled their interest in Matheus Nunes weeks ago, which is a little bit strange because we've heard Paul Joyce say that Liverpool have had no interest in Nunes and that we were never really in for him. But this article suggested that Liverpool cooled their interest weeks ago, which left West Ham and Wolves fighting it out for his signature. He is, of course, on his way to Wolves in a record-breaking deal. I think it's about 42 million quid. So we move on to other possibilities. Caicedo from Brighton is one of those. A piece in 90min.com today suggests that Liverpool are one of a number of clubs looking at this guy. I don't know too much about him other than he's an Ecuadorian international who has impressed a lot of people in his early performances in a Brighton shirt. Manchester United are the club I believe may be strongly linked to the guy. They need somebody in this position, although some Liverpool fans would argue that our midfield could certainly do with a shaping up in the 6 role, Fabinho being one of those players that is dividing opinion lately, which is never a phrase I thought I'd say because he's been nothing but brilliant since he's come into the club, but I would be lying if I said his form hasn't dipped a little bit. So look, I don't know too much about this kid other than Atletico, Barcelona, Chelsea, Juve and Liverpool are all keeping tabs on him and that Brighton are apparently reluctant to sell the 20-year-old. Let's move on to a Liverpool player now who is on loan, and by the way, I haven't forgotten about the main title of this stream or the main point that we're going to be speaking about, which is Naby Keita. I will get onto that in a couple of moments' time. Let's move on to Conor Bradley, who's on loan at Bolton and is doing really well there. He scored for them in a 1-0 victory the other night. He scored as well in pre-season games and he has hit the ground running, and I'm so glad because he's a real talent. Liverpool initially used him as a right back, but it's always been believed that Conor Bradley's future will most likely lay in midfield. So let's wait and see how he continues his development with Bolton, but he certainly hit the ground running. So congratulations to Conor Bradley. Jamie Redknapp wants Liverpool to go out there and sign Jude Bellingham. It's easy, that easy. Jamie Redknapp just said go and do it, like, so therefore Klopp and the lads should just have to go to Dortmund and do it, right? Wrong. Because of course Dortmund don't want to sell Jude Bellingham this summer. Everybody knows that. It's been widely reported in the media. I'm sure Jamie Redknapp's aware of that as well. And look, would we like Liverpool to sign Jude Bellingham? Of course we'd like Liverpool to sign Jude Bellingham. But we are going to have to wait for that to happen, and that will be next summer. It will happen. I've been saying this for a long time, but it won't be this summer. It'll be next summer, unless something drastically shifts and Dortmund are made an offer they can't refuse, which with our owners isn't going to be something likely to happen. It'll be whatever we can get a deal with Dortmund next year, so probably still going to be about 100 million quid, but look, we'll look forward to that next summer. Pino, an attacker who has garnered a lot of interest from Premier League clubs, and apparently today a report coming out from Spain says that it will cost 41.9 million quid to get this attacking 19-year-old wide forward into whatever club wants to sign him. Look, Liverpool's name have been mentioned, Arsenal's name have been mentioned, but I think we'll all agree right now the priority has to be a midfield signing before the window shuts. That leads me on to speak about Naby Keita, but before I do, a little bit of good news, a little bit of a breakthrough here. So I'm going to read you out something that I took from The Athletic, which will give you an insight into this far better than if I tried to explain it myself. So bear with me 1 second. Liverpool fans will have a legally binding role to play in the club's decision-making process for the first time after a contract was signed to officially launch the new supporters board. Really, the part of this that I want to really give you guys an explanation of is that this new board will have the ability to veto the club joining the Super League or trying to join the Super League again. So as the Athletic say, and I urge you to have a read of the article if you're an Athletic subscriber, Liverpool have been negotiating with the fan groups, including Spy on Cop, obviously, other supporters groups as well, Spirit of Shankly and many others, and they have come to an agreement after 16 months. So the supporters board will have the power to veto any further attempts to sign up to a breakaway league, and there will be open dialogue with the club on a wide range of issues such as ticketing and matchday experience. Brilliant. Well done to everybody for the hard work, and again, fair play to FSG. They're following through on their promises, and if Liverpool supporters can veto the Super League, that's a win as far as I'm concerned. Now, we move towards Naby Keita, the big story of the day, and it's a fairly late breaking story as well. So we'd all believe that Naby Keita was negotiating a new contract with Liverpool Football Club, and that is the case, but Florian Plettenberg, a very reliable journalist, I think he works for Sky in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. He has put out that Naby Keita is unhappy with the current situation in Liverpool and that talks have stalled over Naby Keita's new deal. Now, this is split opinion, because in our Discord group, there are some people who believe Keita shouldn't be getting a new deal, and there are others who feel he actually has a right to be annoyed because he's not getting enough game time. The likes of Jordan Henderson playing ahead of him. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle on this one. Would I have liked Keita to get a new deal? I would have understood it, but I wouldn't have been as optimistic about it as some others were. And I think some of the reason that I'd like him to have gotten a new deal was because we're probably going to lose him for free at the end of this season. And I don't like the idea of Liverpool losing a £54 million midfielder for free. So I'm unsure on this one. But I'm also unsure as to what the real issue is. Is it that he's not getting enough game time? Is Klopp and the backroom staff getting a little bit unnerved about the amount of little injuries and muscle strains he's picked up over his time at Liverpool? I really don't know. But there's some thought, and I have to say thought because I've not really seen any proof to back this up, but there is some thought that maybe there's a little bit of unease behind the scenes. Some of you guys may have noted that there wasn't any training footage put out over the last week or so. That could be absolutely nothing, and probably is absolutely nothing. But then if you take into account some of the things the players have been saying about, it being a horrendous week, and I know that it's most likely about injuries. I'm with you on that one. But something just feels a little bit off at the minute, and I don't know what it is. Firstly, we heard Sadio was going to be getting a new deal. He went off to Bayern. Now, Naby Keita, we're not sure. He was supposed to be a certainty to sign the new deal. Now it's a little bit on edge. So let me know what you think. Does Naby deserve a new deal? And if he does deserve a new deal, should he get a pay increase? Like a serious pay increase? Because I don't feel so. I don't feel like he's deserved an increase. He's had a bit of a hit and miss time with the club. Flashes of what he's capable of, and bald Naby Keita is better than not bald Naby Keita. Definitely agree on that one. But still, is he right to feel a bit aggrieved? I don't know. I think the club could have a right to feel a little bit uneasy at Naby Keita's fitness. Although last season seemed to be his best spell. I think he only missed about 8 games last season, something like that. Which is still a lot of games, but better than some of his previous campaigns, if my memory is correct. So look, I want to know what you guys think. And also, do you think we're going to bring in a midfielder before the window shuts? Because I'm at a point now of it being more than a want. I think it's an actual need for us right now. At the start of the window, I would have said it was, a bit of a luxury. Now I think it's a necessity, and I really do hope that Jurgen Klopp, Julian Ward, and the rest of the recruitment team get their act together, put aside maybe some of their stubbornness, and go out there and get a midfielder. Fully agree, it should be somebody for the long term and for the here and now, and not just somebody maybe at the end of their career for a couple of seasons, something like that. I do feel like this signing should have longevity reasons behind it as well. But I disagree with Jurgen Klopp that there wasn't available midfielders that could do a job for us, a very good job for us. So look, let me know some thoughts in the comment section. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.